morning, friends. Today we're going to read a story and discuss what it means. Our objective on the board says students will be able to determine the central message using multiple key ideas from the text as evidence. Can anyone think of a time when they use their voice in a good way? Now let's just think about this in our heads for a few moments. Okay, when I was your age, at school there was someone being mean to my friend and I told them, "Stop, you're not being nice." And I used my voice to stand up for my friend. Maybe some of you had an experience like this or used your voice in this way. Okay, and as we move into reading our story, there are just a few words that I want to go over. Our first word is trumpet. Say it after me. Trumpet. Trumpet is a type of musical instrument that makes a loud, penetrating noise. And this is an image of a trumpet. Our next word is patient. Say it with me. Patient. Being patient is when you stay calm even when something may make you feel a little irritated or upset. So when we're not listening to the directions and our teacher stays calm and asks you nicely to behave, is that being patient? Yes. If she got mad, that would not be being patient. Another word that we may come across in our book is powerful. Say it with me. Powerful. Powerful means having a strong effect on people's thoughts or feelings. And now last, we have the words central message in our objective. And I want you all to know that central message is the big idea from the story, or what our author wants us to take away from their story. Okay. Do we have any questions after reviewing these words? No? Okay, let's move into reading our story. Today's story is going to be My Voice is a Trumpet by Jimmie Allen. Some have a voice as tall as a tree, loud and proud, and sways in the breeze. Some have a voice as small as a bee, soft and sweet like kisses of honey. Some have a voice that's patient and wise, with lessons of life told through sparkling eyes. Some have a voice sunny and bright, a voice that can echo and light up the night. There's a voice that is silent, but still can be heard, with hands that move to speak every word. What do we think that means? A voice that is silent, but can still be heard, with hands that move. Can you guys discuss this with your partners at your table? And we'll come back in just a few seconds. Okay. So, a voice that is silent, but still can be heard. What does that mean? Yes, so sometimes we have friends that may not be able to hear or speak, and they speak with their hands. It's called sign language. Okay, let's keep going. Then there's the voice that roars like a lion, a big voice that always tells you, always keep trying. We all have voices to hear. My voice is a trumpet, strong and clear. So strong here may mean like it's big and it stands and it's loud. My voice will be loud when I'm not sure I know. To wonder, to learn, and to ask as I go. I will learn to speak up, to show I am strong, to stand for what's right, and to know what feels wrong. Have you ever used your voice for what is right? Just think about this question in our minds for a minute. My voice is a rainbow after the storm, loving, comforting, safe, and warm. So comforting here means just kind and making people feel okay once they hear our voice. And I have a question on this page. My voice is a rainbow after the storm. What do we think that means? Just take a few seconds and talk to your partner about it. Okay, would anyone like to share what it means if your voice is a rainbow after the storm? Okay. So yeah, that's right. A voice that is a rainbow after the storm may be a voice that is kind and comforting after something bad may have happened or something scary. I'll use my voice to find joy in others, reminding us all we're sisters and brothers. I'll say no to hate by using this voice and always choose love, a magical choice. Voices are powerful and together they're strong, like the musical notes of a beautiful song. And how will you use your voice? Okay, so now let's just take a minute to think about what we heard in the story and gather our thoughts on it. Okay, class. We said that today's objective was to determine the central message of the story using multiple key details from the text as evidence. With your partners, I want you to share what you believe the central message of My Voice is a Trumpet is, and something in the book that helps prove you are right. You may say something like, I think the central message is because in the book it says. So let's just take a few moments to discuss this. Okay, friends, let's come back together, and please get out your writing notebooks as we finish up our sharing. We're going to make a chart on the board and in our notebooks with what the central message is. I'll give you just a few more seconds. Okay, so who would like to share any ideas about the central message of the story? And I will write them up on our chart, and you write them in your notebooks as well. Okay, you think the central message is about using our voice in a positive way? That's a very good one. Let's write that in our notebook, friends. Anything else? Thank you for sharing. We'll write that one up on our board as well. Okay, now let's pick what ideas in the book support what the central message is and write them in our notebooks. Please include at least 2 key details on your chart. Okay. Would anyone like to share what key details they wrote on their chart? You said because you can use your voice, powerful and strong. Yes, that's a good one. Anyone else? That our voice can be a rainbow after a storm? Yes, that's a really good one. Okay. So, today we discussed the central message and practice finding key details from the story to help prove the central message of our story. Now, I would like each of you to pick 1 key detail and write about the central message in your notebooks. You will, or you can, begin your writing by saying the central message is because in the book it said, and fill that in with what key detail you would like to use for defending what the central message is. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to finish this writing prompt. And then we'll come back together and share what we learned and what we wrote. Okay, friends, let's come back together, finish up our writing, and put our pencils down. Let's share what we wrote with a partner. So first I want you with your groups of 4 to go around in order, like counterclockwise, sharing what you wrote the central message is and what key detail you used to defend that or to prove what your central message is. I would also like you to share what you learned about central messages and why you think the key details are important for proving what the central message is. I'll give you about 2 minutes to discuss, and then I will call you together, and we will share what we think. Okay, who would like to share what they wrote? Okay, you shared the central message is use your voice in a positive, we should use our voice in a positive way because it can be a rainbow after the storm. That means, you said that means we're using our voice in a positive way to help people feel better after something bad may have happened. I think that's a really good example. Thank you for sharing. Would anyone else like to share? No? All right. Just make sure you wrote it down in your notebook so we can turn that in on Friday. And now, would anyone like to share what they learned about central messages and why key details are important? Yes? Very good. The central message is what the author is trying to tell us and what the author wants us to understand from their book. Thank you for sharing that. Would anyone like to add anything else to what a central message is? Or would anyone like to share the key details or why key details are important when we're talking about central message? Yes, thank you. You said key details are important because they help us understand the central message? Yes, that's very good. Can you share more on how they help us understand the central message? You're right. So those key details help show that the central message is what it is. So, for example, in our book, My Voice is a Trumpet, when the author says, some voices are like a rainbow after a storm, that's helping show that our central message of voices should be used in a positive way is that when it's a rainbow after the storm, it's helping us use our voice to help someone feel better. And we're using our voice to do that. So yes, that's very good, friends. Thank you for participating and sharing and adding to our discussion about what a central message is and about key details.